It's time for the best list. You know, this is the upbeat, gonna start the new year with a positive flow best list of 2014 Wii games that I reviewed last year. Now, I reviewed a lot of different ones this year. WiiU games, eShop, even some PC games. Yeah, there was a PC game that I did. It might even be on this list. Maybe. Let's find out. But like always, this list is just filled with games that I reviewed. So if your favorite game is not on there, it probably means I didn't review it. Or it sucks! I would check my worst list for that one. Just remember this list is for fun, and it's just my favorite games that I reviewed this year. So with that being said, number 10. Skylanders Swap Force. Now I'll be the first to admit that the swapping gimmick kinda sucked. I mean, I bought the game twice. I get into that in the review, that the fact that I actually bought it twice, yeah, it happened. But the thing is, the fact that I bought it twice proves it, because now all I have is the bottoms of these Swap Force characters. Where are the tops? I don't know. I keep losing them. They're not like the other Skylanders where I can hold on to them for long periods of time. For some reason, I keep losing their tops. I don't know. But you know what? The game is still good. I mean, the jumping mechanic just kind of changed the whole play style of the game. It made the platforming levels fun again. And just overall, I really enjoyed Skylanders Swap Force. The characters in the story oozes charm. And right now you can pick this up for as low as $30. For that price, I think you should go for it, as you'll really enjoy this title. And I think it's absolutely worth a buy.
Fox, I'm gonna take you out.
Well, I'm selling. I'm from Disney, and I'm more powerful than you because I got more money. Oh yeah? I have laser blasters.
Oh, Disney's Infinity goes down in flames.
Oh, that's right. We're awesome. We're awesome. We're awesome. Yeah! Buy me now! Number 9. Tesla Effect. This one is the only one on this list that is not a Wii U game, because it is a PC game. Now, I'm going to say, okay, let me make this very clear from the start, because I'm sure I'm going to get it from the people who already know from this review. Yes, I actually had a part in this game. I was one of the backers on Kickstarter, and you can actually find me in the game if you go looking for me. It was a great game that brought me back to the old days of like the Pandora's Directive or Under a Killing Moon. Chris Jones, who plays Tex Murphy, looks just like he did back in the 90s. And he still does a great job of portraying the private detective that we all know and love. It's amazing how many of the people from the previous games have come back to reprise their roles. This game is just as funny as always. This series has always had a sense of humor which bordered on absurd, but I say that in the best way possible.
Oh, yeah, come in now and everything stops moving. A minute ago, it was like Fantasia in here.
Number 8. Wonderful 101. This one was kind of like a strategy where you team up and you fight villains using other heroes, where you actually combine the heroes together like some weird mesh thingy that I can't even like. Alright, let's imagine Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman all get together to make a sword. Who would be the tip on that thing? Probably Batman, because of the pointy ears. You'd be like, that's right, I'm going to spike you with my pointy ears. Wow, this is the weirdest thought I've ever had. Who would be the top of that sword? Let you guys debate it. But anyway, Wonderful 101, it was a quirky, fun little game. You can use multiple characters to attack enemies. You can morph them into different objects in order to defeat the enemies around you. Well, there are multiple heroes, and when they do fight together, they do it in very different ways. They all kind of combine up like some kind of Series 2 Voltron robot, and they make weapons and objects to fight off the enemies. They all kind of unite to do different attacks and moves. You draw shapes on the screen to decide the moves that your team of heroes are going to do. You can do this with the gamepad or the analog stick. I found it a little bit annoying to change the way I would play every few seconds if I wanted to use the gamepad, since I would have to move my fingers into the position to use the pad part of the gamepad. So most of the time I just use the analog stick. Sometimes it might be a straight line for a sword or circles for punching, but later on it gets way more complicated. If you've ever played Okami, it's just like that. Number 7. NES Remix 1 and 2. Now I'm going to combine these two reviews into one. Now you might be saying, that's cheating, you can't do that. Well, I can, because they came out with a retail version which was just 1 and 2 together. But you know what? NES Remix was a really fun throwback to the old games. And I loved how they were just like little quick little changes to like games that we all know, or you had to go play the game in little sections. It was just a lot of fun. NES Remixed. First thing I have to say is that I love this intro. Man, I wish I could make an intro that cool. Maybe I can. Okay, maybe that wasn't so great. Number 6. Child of Light. Now some of you out there might actually not know what this is. It's an RPG that they came out for the eShop about 6 months or so ago. It was a really cool turn-based RPG based in kind of like, I'd say, a dream world about a young girl who's dying and they need to bring her back to life. It's hard to basically describe, but you're going to have to play the game to understand it. I mean, it's fun to float around and fight enemies. I love turn-based battling. I do. I made that very clear with my other reviews. But this one was just really good and cerebral, and I just can't say it other than I really enjoyed it. One of the good things about this battle engine is that you can switch out characters mid-battle, and it doesn't even cost you a turn when you do it. While it is most of the time a basic turn-based RPG, or a TBRPG, there are quite a few bits of strategy that you don't normally see in a turn-based game. So we should probably classify this as a turn-based partially strategic RPG, or a TBPS RPG, or if you really want to go crazy, a multi-platform downloadable role-playing game with strategic elements in a dreamlike world, or an MDRPG WSEIDW, because the world needs more games with complicated acronyms. Number 5. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I reviewed a few Virtual Console games this year, and I went ahead and picked one to put on my top 10 list. And I put it in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, because of course it's a fantastic game. There's no doubts about that. If I was to say what was my favorite Virtual Console game I played this year, it was A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Now this game starts up with you sleeping in your uncle's house when a bad dream wakes you up. It is odd that a house with 2 people in it only has 1 bed. Anyways, your uncle goes out for some reason. I guess he got the same dream from Zelda. The only thing he tells you is to stay in the house. So of course as a punk teenager, you decide to immediately go out in the rainstorm. Because adults are stupid and we don't listen to them. Already I'm rooting against the main character. Why didn't he just stay in the house? His uncle could be the main character in this game. But anyway, we found a hidden hole that gives us access to the castle. We fall down this big hole. You come across the dying body of your uncle, who I assume died of 2 broken legs from that fall. I guess he's a little bit more heavy and that puddle of water didn't break his fall. He tells you to go save the princess. So blah blah blah, you go rescue the princess, you travel through the sewers, get hepatitis, and end up in a church. From there your adventure begins. You'll travel through towns where you'll meet way better people who should be on this quest to save the world than a boy. However, since everybody's apparently a they leave it up to you. Number 4. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Now this one was actually a very difficult game, but all the Donkey Kong games are kind of difficult. But this one was gorgeously made, the controls are perfect, and overall, it was just fun to go back in the Donkey Kong Country world again.
The story is that these Vikings from the Snowmads come to Donkey Kong Island and freeze it somehow. The Donkey Kong gang, they're blown all the way to a faraway island, and they have to work their way back to Donkey Kong Island to get it back.
Do you ever wonder why they just didn't say, okay, this is our new island? Their old island's got a bunch of snow on it. What's easier? Staying on the island you already have where there's bananas galore, or just going to this frozen wasteland and trying to save your old island? If I was Donkey Kong, I'd be like, fine, keep it.
Yeah, it's kind of bananas.
Oh, no. That's not appealing. No more banana puns. Now, don't let me slip up. Oh, no. Number 3. Shovel Knight. Now, I'm going to make a confession here. This one was a tough one to decide whether or not it was going to go into the second or third position. Because this game is fantastic. It's like an old NES game. It's hard to describe how awesome this game is. There are so many cheats you could do just to, like, after you're done with it, just have fun with it. Or just the gameplay itself. It was just so amazing. Shovel Knight is a game that seems to take inspiration from many different places. Playing the game, I can see the level designs of Mega Man, the RPG elements of Zelda 2 and Simon's Quest, and the character designs of the Shoveler from Mystery Men, only with a knight's helmet. You play as Shovel Knight, who has to save his companion Shield Knight. You go on a quest to rescue her from the tower and stop the evil that has taken over the land. The plot is explained through a Ninja Gaiden-style cutscene, so add that to the list of borrowed game ideas for this title. Number 2. Mario Kart 8. Overall, this game was fun. The only downfall I could say was that the multiplayer battle mode was kind of not that great, but I'm hoping they'll fix it in the future. But other than that, the visuals were fantastic, the track designs were amazing, and it just was a lot of fun to play. This is the Wiiviewer!
And the little Wiiviewer! And the littlest Wiiviewer!
And we're gonna review
Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U.
I'm fairly certain it's Mario Kart Infinity.
Actually, Mario says Mario Kart 8.
He says, Mario Kart 8!
I think it was more like Mario Kart 8!
You know, we've never really talked about this, but Mario has the weirdest voice. He's like an Italian. You would expect he would talk like this, which he does. But he has a very high voice, like a Mickey Mouse. They actually call this Mario Kart Infinity, right?
No, actually.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's an infinity symbol.
No, that's actually an 8.
See, the problem with that is, this isn't Mario Kart 8. It's Mario Kart 11. There's actually 3 other Mario Kart games. These are all arcade games, which are technically Mario Kart games.
The last game was Mario Kart 7, so logically the next game is Mario Kart 8.
Alright. We'll go with Mario Kart 8 if you want to live in a lie. Number 1. Alright guys, this is it. I've been holding this in my pocket for the last, I guess, 10 minutes while I've been doing this. So let's find out what the number 1 pick is. Let's see. Everybody nervous? Because I'm sure you're never going to guess. Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U. Okay, this one was a little anticlimactic because I'm sure everyone's like, well, Smash Brothers hasn't shown up yet, and I doubt he would ever not put it on the list, so it's got to be number 1. And there's a reason it's number 1, because it's fantastic. I mean, so great and so much fun. I'm still playing it. I'm still unlocking characters. I'm buying amiibo so I could play them on the Smash Brothers and level them up. It's just, there's so much fun in the game. Words can't even describe it. There's a lot of options you can do. So it's like, if you have a player who's really better than all the rest of you, you can handicap them, which I thought was cool. The stages, they range from great to okay. I didn't like the stages where the backgrounds were just going nuts, like Skyloft.
Skyloft wasn't bad.
Oh, it's distracting. That's what I didn't like.
It wasn't even distracting.
Well, it was for me.
Well, you can't focus then.
No, I can't. I'm trying to focus on where my character is. And it's even crazier now that there's up to 8 people in a fight. What do you think about 8-man battles?
Depends on the stage whether it's a good choice or not, really.
Well, not all the stages can handle an 8-person battle.
The biggest stage, Palutena's Temple, is hands down the best stage for 8-player Smash for the fact that
It's huge.
it's the biggest stage in history, and because of that, many battles in different places can go on, and that's kind of what 8-player Smash is. Tiny battles going on at the same time.
Well, that's it. My top 10 best list of 2014. Once again, I want to thank you guys all for watching my videos. And I hope you guys enjoy the videos that are coming up as I start up my 8th year of doing this. Now I also want to make a shout out to something else, and that's my laptop. This thing's been with me since day one. 8 years later, it's still running and still recording footage perfectly. I want to thank everyone who's watched this video or subscribed over the years. You guys have been fantastic. And I hope you guys enjoy all the videos that are coming up in the future. If you like, you can check out my top 10 best list of 2013 or 2012. Like always, thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe.